Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. What's going on, Mateo?
How's it going, Hector?
John.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, doing well. So we haven't posted that much lately on our YouTube channel. We're gonna start bringing you guys a lot more techniques, a lot more content about what's going on inside Academy. We want to talk about
competition prep.
Competition prep, okay, guys. So everyone approaches this a little bit differently. Typically, this is more something that is put together by your instructor. Okay, but it really helps, I think, that our students know not just what we're doing, but maybe what they could be doing at home as well too, and what they could do to get themselves in the right mindset to go out and dominate, right?
Yeah.
So is there anything specifically that you like to do leading up to competitions, Professor Mateo?
Yeah, so first thing, I mean, depending on the competition, you always got to understand the rule set. First thing, right? I mean, every competition organization, especially in Jiu-Jitsu, it's not like the sport of basketball where it's one specific rule set. Everybody knows the rules no matter where you're playing. Jiu-Jitsu, everybody wants to kind of have their own organization, try to set their own rule set to make it the best rule set. And you have to understand that rule set, right? So again, understand what's going to score certain points, what's going to score penalties, what's going to score advantages. You know, if you're in the color belt rankings, still in the lower belts, understand what's legal and what's not legal. Because again, for example, NABJJF allows wrist locks at white belt, Jiu-Jitsu World League doesn't. So if you can understand those two, or same thing with guard pulling, you can pull guard, jumping guard, NABJJF, Jiu-Jitsu World League, you can't at white belt. So if you understand those things, you can adjust your game plan according to that rule. So that's like step number one. And then for the most part, it just depends on the person. Like, are you consistently in the gym training all the time? Are you kind of more of a seasonal person? I think it really depends. But if you're just someone who's always actively training, you're pretty much prepping all year round.
Stay ready, don't gotta get ready.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and something that I have learned when it comes down to competition prep is you don't have to treat every day like you have to go 100%. Something that everybody does when they get ready for a competition is they go, oh, I gotta up the training. You have to up the cardio, but cardio comes from constant movement and flowing. You know, not being stuck in one position, going back and forth. That comes with training as well. But some people come in and they'll just constantly train hard, beat their body down for the month before they compete, and then when it comes time to competing, they're all beat up and broken. So, you have to train smart in preparation for these competitions. Most of the competitions, as long as you have good cardio, right, and you have a good move set, you have like a A, B, and T, or A, B, and T, A, B, and C move set that you like.
You could go A, B, T.
Yeah,
it's just most people go A, B, C.
Yeah,
so that's
but I don't know my
people.
alphabet. That's what makes me better than the rest.
When I see John playing his T game in the competition, I'm like, damn, they're not expecting that.
No, they were expecting C, but I skipped it all the way to
You always
T.
gotta go
To the end.
mix it up on people. So those are some really good advice. That's some really good advice, especially I like what Mateo also said as far as knowing the rule sets. Very, very important, okay? So one other thing, right, that I would throw in there is watch some people, find some videos on YouTube or on Flow Grappling of people whose game you like to emulate, okay? You don't have to create a game from scratch. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Try to, especially when you're starting off, try to find people's game that look similar to what you're trying to do, and then try to capture on that. That's something that has helped me. That's helped a lot of different people, especially coming up. You're trying to just figure out what style of jiu-jitsu you're even going to apply. Don't be so much in, oh, I'm just gonna survive mode. But when you're hitting that competition seat, you want to go out there with go out there and try to thrive and play a specific game. Even if you fail, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a certain type of player, you have to impose your will on whatever that type of game is. If you're just like, I'm a wrestler, I don't want to score those 2 points and pin, cool, do it.
Yeah.
Show that you could control people and not let their game get off at all.
Yeah, no, I think having a solid understanding of your strengths is something that everybody should recognize before they enter competition, right? If you're coming in there And if you're relatively new to jiu-jitsu, I think it's best to start once you kind of have an understanding of where you really like to play, right? If you're a guard puller, okay, great, pull guard, and then just try to play that game as strong as you can, and work on that for the next, a few weeks prior to the competition, 1 month before at least. Work on your strengths, of course. Do your best to try to work on your weaknesses. But if you're trying to win, if your sole goal is just to win the tournament, play your A game, right? Of course, you can get to a level where you just start killing everybody in your divisions, and then you can start opening up and just trying new things. But I think for most people who are just trying to win their division, you have to have like an A game. Right?
Yeah, and your coach should typically let you know. Like I have a student that comes to mind, Abby. She's crushing the majority of her level. She hasn't been doing jiu-jitsu that long enough for her to be at the next belt level, but for right now, she's just where she should be in the gray belt division. But it's basically the kind of thing where I just say, okay, you're doing really well, but here are some challenges. Here's what I want you to work on. And then when she works outside of her A game, now she's getting things ready for when she goes to the next level. So it's really this long-term approach. So your coach, your professor will let you know about that. So I think that's all. There's many different things that are gonna help you guys in your guys' journey with competition prep. But the number one thing as far as competition prep goes is signing up for the tournament. Stop sitting on that fence and stop thinking about, oh, I'm not ready, my cardio sucks and all that. Until you commit,
Be okay with losing.
yeah. Well, there's that. Whatever happens, happens. You should be okay with losing. But I just talked to so many people today. I was talking to a blue belt, doesn't train at our school, but trains at a Checkmat headquarters on Friday with us, and I had to just try to encourage him to say, hey, you know what, you're worrying about being fit cardio wise and all that, but you live and die by the quality of your jiu-jitsu. So stop trying to be more fit than the other guys. Try to just get out there, especially this person was like a master's degree, so like over 40, still intermediate competitor, so it's not like a brown, purple, or black belt. Okay, so especially when you're just coming up, there aren't that many people that are going to be a professional jiu-jitsu athlete at the wider blue belt level in the masters divisions, especially.
Yeah, right.
So just get out there.
Who knows? You might surprise yourself. You might think you might be the worst person in the bracket and then come out with first place. I remember when I was still a blue belt, I hadn't competed all throughout COVID. Because of COVID, all the tournaments were shut down. I went back, competed for the first time in like 2 years. And everyone thought I was just all stone cold because I'm just sitting there looking and staring at everybody. I was shaking in my boots. I was afraid that next match was going to be like, oh, that's the one that gets me out, puts me in the third place bracket. But I just started. I had a huge bracket. 30
Is that
people.
the one where you took double gold?
That's the one before I took double gold.
Oh, okay.
But I took gold in San Diego. I forget where, but for a World League tournament. And I had a really huge bracket, the biggest bracket I've ever had. And every match, I was just so scared. And everyone was like, why? Because when I would go in there, I looked like I was calm, cool, and collected, but truthfully, I was terrified. I didn't know if this person was going to be the one who beats me up or makes me feel bad about my training and myself. And then here I am in the final match, and I'm still shaking my boots like, oh, geez, this is it.
I thought you just always shook like a chihuahua.
I shake, bro. I just shake in my boots. What do I say?
So there you have it. Some transparency. Everyone gets nervous. Everyone gets scared. You actually, I think, fight better when there's a little bit of that scared element. You don't want to be frightened by anything, but you don't want to have an arrogance about you. Every little bit of self-confidence should be built on reality in combat sports, right? If you're really at the top of the food chain, you paid for that. You took your lumps and you came up through, and no one makes it all the way to the top without a lot of lumps and a lot of hard lessons. So by the time you get there, it'll be real confidence, and it won't be built on arrogance. And again, need to reiterate this again. Just sign up. If you haven't competed yet, and you're on the fence, this message is not for everybody. This is for people who are on the fence about competing or getting back out there or whatever it is that you're going through. If you're on the fence, I encourage you to just sign up for a tournament, the farthest one out that you could sign up for. Before you know it, that time will come and you'll be ready for that. You show up for that one way or another, and then you might get a gem out of it, or you might get a lesson out of it. So that's it, guys. Let's keep up the hard training, and let's go, guys.
Yeah, just do your best.